Hey guys, this is your girl Princess with Princess Show, and if this is your first time ever watching my videos, welcome. So guys, I am here today to talk to you guys about my process of getting a passport for me and for my 3 little ones. So I hope that you watched the entire video. I will make it very quick, sweet, and simple for you guys. But before we go and jump into this video, first I would like you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I promise it doesn't take much. It doesn't cost you anything. It just let me know that you enjoy my content. I'm opening my life up to you guys and being vulnerable, of course. But it does me know that you guys enjoy my content, and it also motivates me to continue to make more content for you guys. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also remember to go ahead and hit that notification bell, because I am going to start having a schedule for Sunday, Mondays, and Fridays at, I believe it was 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please look out for that. But other than that, let's get straight into the video. All right, guys, so our process of getting the passport, I will say it was very smooth. I will say that it was smooth, but it also was very different. The reason why it was so different for us because it was our first time ever doing it. And when I say it's our first time, I'm meaning my mom as well, because she also was able to go ahead and get a passport. But specifically today, I'm just talking about me and my 3 little ones. So if you want to hear about that, thank you. Let's continue. So it was very smooth, I will really say. So let me go ahead and just walk you through the steps of what I had to do during the process of my passport, and maybe it'll be helpful, because during this pandemic it's totally different. It's not when it was, you know, back in 2019 before this whole situation, or 18. So a lot of things have changed. A lot of places have opened up, and I just want to let people know how I was able to go ahead and be able to get all 4 of our passports. So if anybody don't know, I do live in Washington State, specifically in Spokane, Washington. And so if what you're gonna, in the next video that's gonna come out, you will understand the reason why I do need my passport. So when we started, we had the ideal, not the ideal, but when we realized that we needed to go ahead and get our passports, when I went online, and I specifically wanted to make sure that I educated myself first and foremost. That was the biggest importance through the whole ordeal, is to make sure that I had the right information. Now, remember, I do live in Spokane, Washington. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. So I needed to make sure that I had my kid's birth certificate and whatever is needed from there. So what I'm trying to say is there are some things that most people haven't talked to you about. So if you're probably from Missouri, or maybe this is something just around the country that is required. And when I say country, I mean like in the US. But I'm going to explain more about it. So when I realized that we needed to go ahead and get our passports, I went ahead and went onto the website to see what was needed. But I wanted to know the ETA, because the time that we'll be leaving is next year. So I just wanted to make sure that I got everything right away. So I read everything from, you know, the kids, especially for them, making sure that they are able to get their passport, because specifically it stated, I don't know word by word, but it did explain that, the other parent needs to be aware, but it was if that parent's on that birth certificate, or that parent has custody, if either one of you have custody, or just basically child support order or something, that parent will need to be there at the time that you go ahead and do your interview for your passport. So I will really say go ahead and check out that website, because it really will help you. For me, I really can't really speak on much about that because I did not need to do that. My kid's father, they all three have the same father, so basically his name is not on the passport. That is for another video if you're like, why? But his name is not on the passport. But what I will say is his name is not on the passport, which made it more easy for me to go ahead and proceed with the passport process, okay? So I was able to read that. I was able to make sure I had all the documents that I was needing, guys. So what happened is, after that, they also have where you can apply. So it goes ahead and says that you can print the PDF. No, you can't print the PDF because you cannot write on the PDF, if I'm right. I don't know, but there was a section where you can actually go ahead and do a fill-in. So on my computer, I went ahead and I got all of our information. It asks about your parents, name, their date of birth, the address, emergency address, the whole nine. Okay, so I was able to go ahead and make sure that I put all the information for myself and for my kids. It was easy for my kids because I know who their father is, and I know who my father is, of course. So I was able to fill out that form, get that taken out, and I was able to get it printed out. Now, for my situation is I do have a printer and I do have a computer. But for most people, they do not have that, or they probably have one thing but don't have the other. What I would suggest, especially during this pandemic, is contact your post office and just ask if it's okay for you to get those items printed out. If it means your driver license or your birth certificate, just go ahead and ask them if it's okay. Mine's, they were very lenient because there was one document that I forgot to go ahead and get printed, which I'll explain later on, and it was my birth certificate, and you will understand why I needed to go ahead and get that printed. But I needed to go ahead and get something printed, and the lady that did it was absolutely fine with it. Okay, so I would just say call ahead to just let them, ask them like, hey, is it okay, can I get your printer? And I'm very for sure that they wouldn't have a problem. Okay, so after I went ahead and I did the fill in, I did go onto the website, and I believe it's like www.usps.com/schedule. Okay, and on there you can schedule an appointment to for your appointment. Now, most places have it where you can go ahead and you can do a walk-in, and the other part has where you can go ahead and place an appointment. Okay, now for me, I just didn't want to go ahead and do a walk-in. That's what I mean. I do not want to do that because majority of times you don't know how long or how many people is going to be ahead of you. So I wanted to make sure that specifically for myself and for my kids, we had our appointment and we were taken care of, and nobody was taking that slot that was meant for us. So we were able to go ahead and get a slot that was available to us, and I believe it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and we were able to get that slot. And I believe they gave us an hour. They told us that was an hour. Now, in that process, it also asks you on that website if you would like to go ahead and get your picture taken at the post office, and I did go ahead and say yes. Now, you can go ahead and get your picture taken at a Walgreens, CVS, or whatever place that offers passport pictures, okay? I just went ahead and did the pictures at the post office because I have 3 little ones, and I just did not feel like you know, going from home, going to the place to go and get a picture. I just didn't want to. And I just didn't want them to if you understand, you understand. I just did not want to, okay? When our appointment was scheduled, I was able to make sure I got all the documents for my kids. So I was able to go and get their birth certificate. And for them, I think it was the only thing I had to get was their birth certificate. Yo, the only thing I had to get is my kid's birth certificate, and that was all. Yo, I just had to get a birth certificate. I'm trying to figure out, did I have to get anything else? But no, I just had to get my kid's birth certificate. I was able to go ahead and print their birth certificate in black and white for kids. So what they'll ask you is they need the actual birth certificate, and they also need a black and white birth certificate copy. Do not go ahead and bring a color because they will refuse it. Make sure it's black and white and it's easy. It's legible where they can actually go ahead and see it and they can say, okay, this is who you are, okay? So I was able to print their birth certificate, and I was able to go ahead and paper clipped it. I'm very organized when it comes to paperwork, making sure that everything is on file. For myself, it was totally different. So I had to go ahead and copy the front of my driver license, the back of my driver license, and my birth certificate. Now, here we come to the birth certificate, right? So my birth certificate was kind of crazy. And then let me explain this. So I was born June 27, 1989. And during that time, I received a birth certificate from Kansas City, Missouri. However, when my father was placed on child support, there is like something on the form where it shows where the judge altered it. And so they needed my birth, what is it called? Let me see. Is this for me? No, this is not for me. This is not for me. Let me go ahead and make sure. Okay. They need, without showing my information, guys, they needed my certificate of live birth. So they needed my certificate of live birth because my certificate of live birth was my original birth certificate. And it was just like, I just needed to get it. So I had to go ahead and pay for Jackson County to actually go ahead and send me my birth certificate. So anyway, I got that taken care of. Once I got it taken care of, now we're going to the day of the appointment that I had to do my passport. So I get there, what she did is she did us one at a time. So of course she did me. I had to go ahead and take a picture. Now, when you do the picture at the post office, of course it's a fee, but the girl, she hooked me up. So thank you so much, honey. So after we did a picture, I did my picture. She went ahead and verified the documents. And one thing she said, she was like, you are very detailed, because a lot of people just come in here and they don't have anything. They don't have a copy. So that's one thing I would say. Just be very, very organized. If you're like me, I would hate to drive somewhere just for me to be turned around and have to go back in. Like, I'd just be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this on another day. So I would say just go ahead and make sure that you have everything. I don't care, bring more. Bring things that you probably don't need, but at least you have it all, okay? So I was able to go ahead and she was able to verify my information. And, you know, from there, I used my debit card to pay for the transaction. And she was able to go ahead and do a money order, attach it. And she actually did take my actual birth certificate with her. So it had to be shipped out. So it also lets you know on the website that, you know, especially during this pandemic, it can take 10 to 12 weeks. Usually you can get a turnaround for 4 to 6 weeks when it was normal, if I'm correct, or you can get it expedited and it can take about like 2 weeks. But during this whole pandemic, it is taking 10 to 12 weeks for you to get your passport. Now, some people are getting there sooner than others, but it can take 10 to 12 weeks. So we went there, I believe we went there September the 14th or September the 9th. It was September the 9th or September the 14th. that we went to go and get our passports. And so the same way that she did me, she did my kids. She made sure to verify all of her information. She needed to make sure that I had to sign for my kids just to make sure that everything was right. That that my picture, because she had to take that's the one thing that she had to print extra for me as well. She had to make extra copies of my driver license because that needed to be attached to the kids' files as well. So that is something that I did not do, but she was okay with doing it, and I appreciate that. So after that process, I believe after our total, I believe I paid, I don't got the exact number, but it cost us almost $600 total. And this, I also purchased a book, a passport card, and I was able to go ahead and get the extra pages. And I was able to, okay, so this like 51 pages. So I was able to go ahead and make sure to get the extra pages, because with our journey next year is going to be so exciting. And because this channel is now going to be with travel in it and the lifestyle of being a single mother and vlogging, I need this passport. So guys, after I did that, she did inform me that it was going to be taking 10 to 12 weeks. And from there, she told us that we can go into a website where we can go ahead and put our information in, and you can check on your application status. Now, I will tell you to wait at least, I think it tells you 24 to 48 hours to wait. No, 7 business days to wait till you can get your status. So if you come on the first day, on this first day that you just did your passport, and you go straight there and go on the website to go and see your status, it's going to say not found because it has not reached our system. Now, once you do that, it's just a waiting game. You're just sitting there and you're just waiting for your passports. You're just waiting. You're just sitting there like, okay, I'm just waiting for my passports. Okay, girl. But you're just waiting. You're literally waiting. So I said I did that in September. We finally got ours November the 18th on my daughter's birthday. November the 18th is when we received our passports, all 4 of our passports. And let me tell you, I was so happy. Okay, I was so happy. I was super ecstatic because this just mean like, oh my gosh, it is ready for us to go. And I was really, really happy. The kids was happy. We were all excited. Now, after you get your passports, what I was advised you guys to do is, I don't know if other people do it, but it does ask you when you go on your first page of your passport where your picture are, if you have minors, make sure you sign what I would say is like, make sure you sign, because I don't want to sign that part. Make sure you sign that part. Make sure you sign, it should say signature or barrier. Sign that. What you'll need to do is sign, well, not sign. You will need to go ahead and put your child's full name. And then on the side, you will need to put your name and your relation, which for me was mother. And then, of course, I signed my passport as well. So just like if you had like a debit card and you sign the back, you need to just sign it. Okay, just in case somebody stole it or something, it is legitimately signed. Now, of course, you're wondering, what is these brown envelopes? So I was thinking that, of course, after I received my passport, I was going to receive my birth certificate right behind it. I thought it was going to be the next day. That wasn't the case. We literally received these on, I believe it was Monday of this week. And I don't even know what this week is. Maybe like the 4th or the 5th. We received these on December the 4th. I won't say that it was too long, but if you do not receive it on the same day that you receive your passports or the day after, just know that it's coming around. Now, what I will say is that my passport, the information came from Tucson. It came out of Arizona. So most people I have heard on different videos where their passport is being processed in Houston or is being processed in Philly or somewhere like in New York or somewhere. Mine was processed in Arizona, and that's where we was able to receive our information. So that was pretty much the process of our whole passport. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope that it was informational, and I hope that you guys stayed throughout the whole video, because I really appreciate it. But other than that, please go ahead and subscribe to this video. Remember to hit that notification bell. And remember also, guys, that it does not cost to subscribe to the channel, okay? It lets small content creators know that we are doing good and we get in there, okay? But other than that, thank you so much, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.